From Jacksonville, Florida, it's time for another edition of A-Sun Women's Basketball as the North Florida Ospreys play host to the Queens Royals, the final home regular season game of the 2025-2026 season. With my broadcast partner, Alvin Delvey, I'm Adam Glover. Thanks so much for being with us here on ESPN+. And Alvin, it's a couple of programs towards the bottom of the A-Sun standings right now, but these two teams match up very well. It feels like every time they play, always down to the wire.
A-Sun play would do just that. Ideally in this game, with both of these squads nearing conference tournament, you want to make sure you're dialed in on the little things.
Well, for Queens, as we take a look at our impact players, they're really going to need a big game out of Hannah Hicks, fresh off another double-double against JU.
And she had a double-double in their previous game. 7 times this season she notched that in the rebound marker. A stalwart in the paint. She's going to give North Florida a problem in the post.
She's a part of that rebound party every night. Then for the North Florida Ospreys, Alanya Walden, a 27-point showing against Stetson.
February has been her month. She's had season high in assists. She's coming off of her career game in points in Jacksonville. And when she's flowing offensively, this North Florida offense can really do some damage.
She is having a heck of a year right now for North Florida. And now it's time to meet the third member of our crew, our sideline reporter, Skylar Catherwood, standing by with our opening hits. Skylar.
Baseball here from the First Coast at the University of North Florida in Jacksonville. There's a look at Harmon Stadium as the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats a quick trip up I-95 to take on the North Florida Ospreys. Another non-conference tune-up with another big conference weekend coming up as we really hit the halfway point of conference play for both the SWAC and the A-Sun Conference. He's Mike Scoglin. I'm Adam Glover. We're so happy you can join us here on ESPN+, and we'll be joined by our on-field reporter, Allison Benning, shortly after the break. Now, Mike, the last couple of weekends for North Florida, it's been a little bit tough, but the last time they played Bethune-Cookman, they were able to squeak out a nice midweek win.
Yeah, been good on midweeks, 4-2 on the season, only 2 losses, a very good SEC club in Florida, so they're looking to bounce back tonight and get things right before they head to West Georgia for the weekend.
Right, and in that game against Bethune-Cookman, it was all Ospreys for the first really 7 innings or so, but things got a little bit tricky towards the end there, Mike.
Yeah, couldn't close it down. I'm sure Merck wants this thing to close a little bit easier today than it did last time. It's been a couple months or 6 weeks since they played last. We'll be interested to see different changes in both lineups tonight.
Well, North Florida, they look to continue their hot hitting at the plate right now, searching for win number 20. Bethune-Cookman, they got to keep pace in the SWAC as well with FAMU. We'll take a timeout here from Harmon Stadium. Come right back. We'll look at the lineups and the starting pitchers. So don't go anywhere.
It's the continuation of A-Sun play as there's a look at UNF Arena, home of the North Florida Ospreys as they play host to the Austin Peay Governors. Both teams got that first taste of conference play just a couple of days ago, and now a really tough test for both of them as we welcome you courtside. She's Nancy Miller. I'm Adam Glover. So happy you can join us here on ESPN+. And Nancy, for North Florida, it was a tough loss a couple of days ago. It's the first time this season they went into the half with a lead and still lost the game. How do they bounce back against one of the toughest defenses they'll face in the A-Sun this year?
I think you just have to put that behind you. They had the chance to win it at the buzzer, and I have never seen a shot hang on the rim so long as that shot that Alexa Washington shot at the end of the game. But they ended up coming up on the short end of the stick, 67-65. They have to turn around and face a very tough, top-of-the-league defensive team and the Governors today.
Well, if we take a look at our impact players, let's start with Austin Peay. It's Maya Williams who's coming up a big game against Jacksonville.
She had 21 points against JU, 7 for 12 from the field, 4 for 8 from three-point, and had 6 rebounds to her credit. They led wire to wire in a 71-65 W over the Dolphins.
That's the second most points scored in a game by a Governor this year. And then for the North Florida Ospreys, it's Ellie Blatchford, another really impressive night against Lipscomb.
The junior transfer from Gardner-Webb had 13 points, went 4 for 5 from the field, and a perfect 3 for 3 from beyond the arc against Lipscomb, and is really coming into her own as the Ospreys head into conference play.
Yeah, she's been stellar every night. Now it's time to welcome in the third member of our crew, our reporter Skylar Catherwood, standing by with her opening hit. Skylar.
A-Sun play rolls on as we've reached another weekend of conference games. The Lipscomb Bisons taking a long trip down to Jacksonville, Florida to take on the North Florida Ospreys. Both teams with winning weekends last week. Middle of the pack in the A-Sun standings, looking to do some damage this weekend. Should be a good 3-game set between these two schools. And along with Bo Durkak, I'm Adam Glover. We're very happy you can join us here on ESPN Plus, and we'll be joined by our on-field reporter, Madison Little, after the break. Bo, we'll start with Lipscomb. Last season, they won the A-Sun 2023. They were excellent. This year, the record's just not as good as what they expected, but all season long, the offense has been so potent.
Yeah, led by shortstop Trace Wilhoit, fifth-year senior, guy with 10 home runs at the halfway, a little over the halfway point. Played in prestigious Cape Cod League last summer, over a 600 slugging percentage, so he's definitely a threat to be reckoned with in the batter's box.
I mean, there's so many guys in this Lipscomb lineup that can do damage, and in the field. He was preseason defensive player of the year, a guy that they love having in that lineup. And then on the flip side, Jabin Bates might not produce as high of numbers as he does at Lipscomb, but still a consistent guy behind the plate for North Florida.
Yeah, unlike Wilhoit, this is his first foray into Division I baseball in the state of Florida, and he's done a very good job considering his freshman year he was at a Division II school in Ohio, University of Findlay, before transferring to a junior college in Michigan. So making that transition from the northern junior college ranks to Division I baseball and maybe the best part of the country in Florida, he's done very well, and he's got more walks and strikeouts. That's usually a sign of a good hitter.
Well, we'll take our first time out. We got a good one tonight, a couple of Friday night guys. We'll have Madison Little and starting lineups after the break, so don't go anywhere as you're watching college baseball on ESPN+.
From Jacksonville, Florida, we are ready to roll for the second series of the year here for college baseball. And it's Long Island in Jacksonville here at John Sessions Stadium, the first of 4 games here on ESPN+. And for both Jacksonville and Long Island, coming off a loss, Jacksonville midweek tussle with Florida State did not go their way. And for Long Island, they're still searching for that first win of the year. Rallied in Game 3, but inevitably fell in the bottom of the 9th on a walk-off base hit. Hi, everyone. I'm Adam Glover. He's Kyle McCarthy. Thanks so much for being with us. And Kyle, for Jacksonville, they started 4-0. There's so many teams that can come in here like a Florida State and do what they did, but there's still a lot to love about this Dolphins squad. How do they bounce back this weekend against the Sharks?
There is a lot to love about this Dolphins squad. And the key to bouncing back, it's simple. It's offense and it's pitching. They'll have their ace, Alex Walsh, back on the mound this Friday night. And then at the dish, you have Jonah Shields. Jonah Shields continued to do what he does, picking up hits. And then Derek Bermudez. We'll have a little bit more on him later. He's leading the way in RBIs for the Dolphins and all of college baseball. Excited to see what Derek Bermudez has in store tonight.
And if both teams want to get back in the win column, like Kyle said, it's about the offense. Let's start with Long Island. Ryan Rivera coming off a big weekend.
Yeah, Ryan Rivera, the shortstop for the Sharks. He's kind of the anchor in the infield and in the lineup, hitting .417, 5 RBIs so far through their 3 games. That leads all Sharks players. Also, as you see, was named the NEC Player of the Week. If they want to win this game, it's going to have to be a big night for Ryan Rivera.
And like you said, for Jacksonville University, it's Derek Bermudez. A really easy decision on this one.
I feel like we keep saying his name on these introductions, and why shouldn't we? As you see, .579 batting average, 3 home runs, including a 3-run bomb in the loss, to Florida State. And like we said, those 16 RBIs not only leads all JU players, it currently leads all of Division I.
He is so deadly with runners in scoring position. When we come back, we will have starting lineups, the starting pitchers, and first pitch. So don't go anywhere as you're tuned in to college baseball here on ESPN+.